You can actually stop rambling in your videos without needing to script every single word. The more you try to make your viewers understand everything, the easier it is to bury the very thing you wanted them to understand in the first place. Over the last few weeks, I made 28 videos. I ended up cutting up a lot of footage in one of those. Watching back the shortened version, it was actually much easier to understand. So in today's video, I will speak about how you can speak more clearly, organize your thoughts and feel more natural without needing to script every single word. So the first point is, you are sitting down in front of the camera. You feel pretty good. You have a topic in mind and the first few minutes goes pretty well. And suddenly you don't know what to say next. Your brain goes completely blank and you just go with the flow. So you just fill with a lot of information for the viewer so that they don't misunderstand you. And this is the part where your body feels that it's going into panic mode. So that's why you ramble. So instead of pausing, you go into the filler words and phrases and stories and analogies which go into a full-blown tangent. So your brain is basically trying to catch up with your mouth, but it fails to do so. And it sees your silence as a problem, so it just needs to keep on moving instead of staying still and letting the idea fall into place for the viewer behind the camera. So our job is to let us not fill the silence with sounds and just let it do its job. The thing is, it's not that you have too little to say. You feel that you have so much to say and so little time to do so. And it's exactly like highlighting a book. If you highlight one thing, it stands out. If you highlight the whole book, nothing stands out. Your viewer doesn't need to have everything to understand you. And I used to have this issue when creating videos, especially in the beginning of this 30-day challenge. I felt the urge to say everything because I thought that if I don't express these words, these stories in my head, then the video will not be good enough. The person behind the camera who is watching my video will not understand completely. So I just made sure to word vomit everything. But all it took actually is to have just one idea and then let it land for a viewer. So do the one sentence test and ask yourself, what is the one thing I want them to take away from this video? What do I want them to remember? Now, the next thing is basically if you're struggling with going on tangents, and I'm raising my hand because this is something that I used to do a lot, and currently I'm improving on that aspect because I have my skeleton script that basically helps me structure everything. So the hook is scripted to a T, but I have points that I can go off the cuff and speak from my heart so that it comes out more like me and not artificial intelligence writing it for me. And when rabbit holes happen, which they eventually do, meaning that you go on tangents and your mind somehow goes in different directions rather than going into the points, going through the video and finding its way to the end with a clear red line. You instead talk about how Rome was built and how it ended. But your video was about how you could structure a video, which would be interesting. I see tangents as unexpected ideas. So imagine you're panning for gold. Most of it is dirt, but occasionally it could be a gold nugget. So don't be afraid to go on tangents when recording videos. Allow them to happen. And when you find one, invite it. And you could actually use it in your video for the next take. And you can always edit the gold and cut out the dirt. And always remember that your first take is never your final take. So just continue rolling, and if you find a gold nugget, return to the start and let it flow. Now, if you want to create YouTube videos more consistently, but you don't want to script fully, then I have something that's called the skeleton script, which I use on every single video nowadays. And it basically helps me to have a structure where I write the hook fully, word for word. And then I have talking points and I talk around them. So I'm more structured and I'm able to speak more naturally and like myself. So if that's something you want, make sure to download it in the description below. So thank you so much for watching, And I highly recommend this video next if you want to actually be more consistent.